Welcome guys to another exciting review. Today we're going to be looking at the first tech suit on the channel that was released in 2019. On the 1st of January each year, FINA released a new approved list of tech suits that can be used from that day onwards. If you are a swimsuit brand creating tech suits, you have to of course submit it to FINA for approval to be used in competitions. So say you was to make a suit now and send it to FINA, it would be then added to the approved list for 2020. And it could not be used in any FINA sanctioned competitions until that date. So the great thing about this new list is that you can see what suits are going to be released this year. Of course, some suits on that list have yet to be released. Some are being teased right now, and some are already on the market today. I'm about to review one of them suits, the Arena Carbon Air Squared. This is the only suit that Arena have planned to launch this year. Now, as you know by watching my previous videos, I'm a big fan of their Carbon Air suit, and it is my favorite carbon suit currently on the market. The best thing about it is it's the cheapest. The Carbon Air Squared is set to take what we loved about the Air and just improve on some certain aspects of the suit. And the best part is they've not increased the price. So the Carbon Air Squared is already available on the market from as low as £170. If you are a fan of the Air, it also means because the Air Squared has taken the Air's place in the market, you can start to get the Airs even cheaper already. So this is a win-win. You can either upgrade to the Squared at no extra cost, or you can get an older Air now for even cheaper. Regardless of what Air you're going to get, you're about to get a great deal. Today's video is going to be both a review of the Air Squared and a comparison on what it does to improve on the previous version of it. So we're going to bring you over and we're going to have a closer look at the differences. So here on the right, we have the Carbon Air, the original version in plum and black. And here on the left, we have the Air Squared in an all black. Quickly mentioning the colours the Air Squared comes in, and we have this black with gold font, we have a electric blue, and coming soon we have an orange and lime version. The way I've seen the Air compared to the Air Squared is that this is just a slight refinement of what we had before. The material we used is identical. It is this polyamide elastane and 1% carbon fibre with these horizontal carbon fibre bands instead of the inner post, the squared carbon fibre bands that we have on the Flex and the Ultra. The material is as light and as fine and as thin as the Air was originally, but as I said, we have some small detailed improvements that make this overall a better suit. First and most obvious difference would be that the Air now is made up of one piece of material. So we end up losing the seam we had running down the side on the original here. If you remember my original video, I actually complained about this seam because it's actually quite high profile, and all it means is that the Air Squared is a much more sustainable suit than this was originally. We also have much less inner lining, and this is more obvious on the women's suits than it is on the male suits, and it ends up making the Air Squared even lighter than the Air was, and that is definitely one of the biggest pros of this suit. So as you can see inside, you have a Modesty lining, and on the Air Squared we lose this little strip here. So this is a tiny little double layer here, all the rest is single layer. So as you can see, we have a lot more Modesty lining on the Air, the original Air here. These may seem like small things, but when you're dealing with hundredths of a second, these small things are going to go a long way. What is noticeable though is on the women's suit, they have done a much better job of reducing the inner linings. So we now have a 3-piece double lining, just putting it in the smart places and then therefore getting smarter compression, and on the women's suit a much lighter suit. A couple more benefits of this reduced inner lining is that where there is dual layers, the suit tends to absorb more water. On the jammers, it also means there's going to be less compression on the hips, somewhere you don't really want tightness in terms of mobility, and on the women's suits, on the knee skins, they have less compression on the chest, which means you're going to get a much better oxygen consumption. Moving away from the comparison between the suits, and we're going to have a quick look at water repellency, something that this suit has no issues with at all. As you can see, I have quite a considerable amount of water on there, and it's all just pulled up and it's run off. And now we have a completely dry suit. Something that is very cool indeed. Before we get into the performance of the suit, let's quickly talk about the fit and how it feels when wearing. So like with the Air, I opted for a size 26. And when it comes through, it just looks tiny. You can check out on my Instagram page just how small it is compared to me personally. I'm 6'2", I weigh 83 kilograms, but this suit has a lot of stretch to it, and actually ended up going on quite comfortably in about 10 minutes. Some weird things at the suit is the Arena logo wraps right around my hip, and some people asked on Instagram, is that normal? Yes, it is. It's not me trying to fit in a suit too small. The Air done it, and you can check out on their marketing pictures, this is how the Arena logo ends up going. The design of all black is actually quite cool. Back in 2010, every single brand had an all black jammer. Arena launched the Carbon Pro, which was funky. It was neon yellow, it was pink, it was orange, it was electric blue. And from there on out, every single brand has its own take. You've got the sort of 3D prints of Tier, you've got the dual colors of Speedo. Everything's a little bit crazy, so it's quite nice going back to an understated black suit. Cut is great. It sits low on my hips, it comes up above my knees, as you can see here. I should quickly show how the back of the suit looks as well. It doesn't come up too high over my bum, and it stays consistent around the bottom of my legs. Regardless of the colour, it does go slightly see-through because it's stretching so much. So this is a black, but you can actually see my skin colour underneath it through the horizontal bands of carbon fibre. Fortunately, it does obviously have the Modesty panels we've talked about earlier that just about cover enough. The feel of this suit is actually different to the Air because of this lack of seam, and you really can't take for granted how much that seam does affect the feel, and you can just feel that you're much more locked in with them horizontal bands staying consistent all the way around your outer thigh instead of that seam interrupting the compression. So there's a little bit more stretch here, but also a much more managed compression, and it feels really good. It's all about the performance. This is not going to be a suit that revolutionizes what the Air already did so well. Instead, it's going to offer you some small refinements and improvements that are going to make a small impact on your racing. The first thing you've noticed with wearing this suit is it's really light, nothing like some of the heavier, thicker suits on the market. But you still, when diving in, get that surge forwards from its epic water repellency. A suit this light and mobile is definitely something that you can wear for any race, really. And personally, I would recommend it for your longer events, your 400 IMs, your 200 breaststrokes. That being said, it's great for sprints as well. I wore it in a 50 freestyle, and so I'm faster than I've ever swum before, which is always a good starting point. And I know some people that love it for the sprints. What I do find about these Air suits is they're not the most buoyant in terms of lifting your hips in the water, not compared to other suits like the Mizuno, but they do make up for that in certain other aspects. I think the hydrophobic nature of this suit, the lightness, and the smart compression, it's not over the top. It's not going to be anything like an Arena Carbon Pro or Flex. The compression is just that sort of sweet spot of not going to be too tight or uncomfortable, but still doing what needs to be done and not feeling loose or underwhelming in that respect, like a training jammer or some of the cheaper tech suits on the market. I think the Arena Carbon Air2 is the embodiment of Arena pushing things forwards. They haven't taken a mick with a suit, and it's not them completely changing something that was beloved by a lot of top athletes and amateur athletes alike. Instead, they've just done what they can to make this suit just that little bit better, that might save you that hundredths, that might win you that gold medal or get you that national or Olympic trial cut. And that's what I want to see from brands. Once again, they knew the Arena Carbon Air was popular, but they haven't gone and released this new, slightly better version at a whopping high price point. Instead, they've kept the price point the same so that you can get this with no additional cost to what you was going to be getting for an Air anyway, but you are getting a better suit. And for that, I can only respect Arena and give this a full-hearted recommendation. I think you're going to see a lot of Arena Carbon Air Squared at Pro Meets this year. The World Championships is going to be full of this. You're going to see this on the podium a lot, and I hope you're going to see it at a lot of meets around the country as well, because it is a great suit at a very affordable price point. £170 for a suit that has so much to offer like this is just great. And again, I'm so happy they've made a great suit even better. I've got a lot more 2019 tech suits reviews coming, so please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and tell me what suits you would like to see reviewed. Also, while I'm on the subject of my videos, I'd like to see what you think about where I film them. And today I've made the effort of coming to the pool. In the past, I've filmed a mixture of videos at home, and I've not really had much feedback on what you prefer or if you even care. Thanks again for watching. Check out the Instagram page as well, at Theswimsuitguy95, and I'll see you all soon.